Traders, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about the A, the M, the C, my baby, the stock we've been hitting out of the park for the past 4 months. Our time has come. We broke those areas we talked about on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And guess what? We're hitting the promised land, the $70. Now breaking above 73 tomorrow, most likely, and the $100 mark going into the end of the week. We have a very big news going on, but I want to go over the game plan, what I see going on in the coming days, the other options I may be playing, the kind of ways you could be making money on this stock in the coming weeks to come, and where we see this going in the near future, and why I don't believe hedge funds will cover their shorts anytime soon. Rich Greenfield, the longer you wait, the longer it's gonna hurt. So like, subscribe, do what you gotta do. Let's get to it. Okay, so you want the good or the bad news first? I'll go with the good news. Good news. That's what we always like. We like to be, lathered up before we get spanked with that terrible news. So let's go with the good news. What we went over Saturday and Monday and Sunday, right? We had the 700 mil volume, 660 mil on Friday. And then obviously Tuesday, I mentioned we most likely were not going to peak out on the weekend like that, because when you hit those peaks on volume, you do not flatline there, okay? You usually peak, and then the next day is a huge drop-off. However, what happened here, we flatlined from Thursday and Friday, and then going into Monday or Tuesday, sorry, you kind of saw a little stagnation, but we still had almost $500 million of volume, and we did see a nice little run up on Tuesday. Now today, Wednesday, it was still a $500 million, but now you're seeing that huge move, the break above $70. What we're getting now is a 750 million volume day, and I'm telling you, this is not the top of the iceberg. Yeah, I get it. It gets bigger at the bottom, but we're interested in the tippity top, okay? That's how you get one of those back there, the option drop champion. That's what we've been calling these options. People are making $600,000 and they're under 25 years old. I'll bring that up in the video here in a second. But you're seeing crazy things happen. I'm telling you, it's just getting started. Now, I want to touch a little bit on this before we go too deep into the video. It's going to be a pretty quick video, just so you know. But as I'm looking at this right now, this is Stonko Tracker. It's similar to iBorrowDesk, but they have one key feature that I really like here instead. It's calls expiring in the money for the coming weeks. So this Friday, there's over 360,000 options expiring in the money. This is, in my opinion, what's causing this gamma squeeze to occur onto the upside. Yes, this is a type of gamma squeeze occurring, but I'm telling you, in the coming weeks, it's going to continue to happen, because right now, all those $40 calls are in the money on June 18th. Now there's $73 calls in the money on June 18th. This is going to keep happening, and those aren't even covering yet. The ones that are most likely covering, pushing us up right now, are the ones expiring this week and probably even next week. They're not going to go at least 3 weeks out, because that just opens themselves up to a lot of risk in case it starts to dump. It wouldn't be that good for them. So I don't believe they've even started covering the big options on the 18th. I'm not going to spend too much time on the chart, but bear with me. I just want to go over what happened and why we started to push up. Now, I'm not saying the chart is the whole reason, but when we mentioned it on Sunday and Monday, kind of gave us the roadmap to see what exactly was happening and why you shouldn't have been concerned. So we mentioned, as long as we held this area, that support right there, that $26 range, we were fine. We were buenos nachos. And then we opened and gapped up Tuesday, sideways action near that monthly level, and then we staged off from there. Now in the Discord, I told everyone, I was like, as long as we hold right below that level, we're fine. Most likely, once we break above this $32, $33 level, we're going to hit $40 in no time at all. And in the previous video, I said, once we break above this local top 36, I give it about 15 to 20 minutes before we break $40. And then as you see, we broke 40, came back down, and the rest was history. Because after $40, that's where I would start to say, that's where the gamma squeeze would start to occur. We've been preaching this on the channel. After $40, there was no real clear target. You were just going off into the distance. We got a gun, it was loaded, cocked, ready to go, shot it, and we just let it rip. That's what happened, and that's what's happening right now. And honestly, the next few days may get even crazier, because now we have trades and Adam Aron going in an interview tomorrow, which honestly is gonna be probably the best part of my week. So stick with me just for a second. I'm gonna give you a rant on what I see happening in the coming days, possibly coming weeks, and why this could actually go on longer than expected. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is GameStop, and the original AMC push got halted on all the platforms. I want to let everyone know I don't see that happening personally. Now, this isn't financial advice or anything like that, but I don't see this movement stopping because of the brokerages having that same issue. First of all, the SEC has already investigated them. They've already confirmed to the SEC that this couldn't happen to their systems ever again. So Robinhood's IPO would be in grave danger if they did something like that again. And they were kind of the leader of that ship to do it. And then all the other brokerages followed in their footsteps. So I don't believe that would happen. So that's number one, why I like it so much. Now, number two, this gamma squeeze will most likely continue to occur. Now, like I said, the ones covering right now and while we're getting this big of a push, I anticipate that it's the options expiring this week and possibly next week, but we know a bulk of that volume is for June 18th, which is 2 weeks out. And then we have the 73s, 40s, and now we have $100 calls. And so how this could keep going is these options could keep getting in the money. And as long as we stay above 40, I see another big push coming and us not really coming down. Now we got halted today on the market. We did see some panic selling. I believe some retail were getting a little bit afraid selling, but ultimately retail was buying it up. Personally, in the Discord, the guys saw me. I bought about $40,000 worth of shares. We have other people buying shares with the gains that they're making from those options because this is just to mitigate that risk. Like I say, I do think $100 is coming possibly by Friday, possibly, but ultimately I see it 100% from my perspective only though, coming in next week as well. I see next week being another huge week for these stocks because I do not believe the rug will be pulled. Now, number three, this is kind of the thing that most people probably were getting upset about in the beginning of the video, why I don't think shorts will cover in the short term. And this is really the only reason. The share count we're getting tomorrow with this proxy isn't going to really give us the exact number of shareholders around the world. Okay. So it's going to give us the United States numbers primarily. And then from that, they have another share count going in July. Now this one could also have issues, and there's sometimes even issues that go on with other share counts. So this could provide some issues because we know there's a lot of in-depth stuff going on with these synthetic shares specifically. So I want that to be highlighted, and don't count on all of it happening very soon. This could really start to drag out. Just don't get greedy on your positions. And then coming back to it as well, people were saying, well, Tyler, they're just going to get so in the hole. Won't they have to cover? One, you don't really know how many positions they have because they haven't done a share count, so you don't know how many synthetics, although it's probably a lot. But that being said, we can't just assume that it's this crazy number that they're going to have to cover. It's also probable because Citadel has such a large market share of the entire economy, they have enough money to just bite the bullet on this for some time longer. It looks like pride has gotten in the way of actually using intellect, and they're just going to let it ride. It is what it is, but these guys are losing money by the day, and that's just on the shares that we know that are there. That's not including any of the synthetics. So anytime you see Ortex or anyone tweet out how much money that these hedge funds are losing, that's just with what we know. That's not with any of the synthetics or illegal shares out there at all. So that's something you need to take into account because they're possibly and most likely losing more money. But that's gonna wrap the video up, guys. If you got anything out of this, like, subscribe, do what you gotta do. We go live almost every single day. And just so you know, I opened 70 more spots on the Discord. I believe there's like 30 left. People filled those in last night. We went live last night around midnight and they're already filling back up. I'll be back tomorrow, guys. Have a good one. Make sure you try to make as much money as you can right on AMC because it won't last forever. Namaste. I make it right. I make it right. Make it rain on them hoes.